Tyreek Hill.
Yep.
Voted number 1 player in the NFL top 100. You want to hear our opinions on that? Go over to Foxborough Rush. We had a deep combo.
We did.
You and I are lock and step. Mahomes is number 1.
Yeah, by the way, Foxborough Rush, you can tune in on Nesson's YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, wherever you get your podcast. Make sure you follow us on all your social media accounts for all of our best content. I think Mahomes not being 1's ridiculous, and we both know it. Everybody knows it.
So then Tyreek Hill also had this happen to him. Dolphins restructured his deal. 3 years, $90 million. So in March 2022, he signed a 4-year deal with the Fins, $120 million total value, but it was like $65.5 million guaranteed.
Right.
Now in August, 2 years into the deal, they gave him a 3-year restructured contract worth $90 million. Didn't add any years. Gave him more guaranteed money. Brings up his total guaranteed $106.5 million. Most ever for an NFL wide receiver in NFL history. Not having any years added surprises me, but the Dolphins doing this, avoiding any drama with Tyreek Hill, doing right by him. And again, I say this, it's what the Patriots are doing a ton. Projecting to free agents, to anyone out there. You come to Miami, you show up and play well, we'll give you the guaranteed money, we will pay you.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I also think the championship window's open for them, George.
Yeah.
I know you don't believe it. I don't
think it's open at all.
I do. Not with Tua. I don't believe they're going to win it. But I think they have a real shot, and you've heard me say this, and I really believe it, and I will be betting accordingly. I think the Dolphins are going to be the number 1 seed in the AFC. I really do.
There's no way.
There's no way?
No. That defense lost a lot. They couldn't beat good teams last year. Like, literally winning record. Completely different team, execution-wise, everything. Same thing with Tua. And as a quarterback, I don't think he can execute the way they need to. I do believe in what the upgrades the Bengals have given Joe Burrow up front. And I know you're very skeptic of his health, and I understand that. And I just still think the Chiefs are the Chiefs. And that offense will find a way with big upgrades in the wide receivers room, which matters. I just think that the Dolphins, to be the number 1 seed, I don't think it's realistic.
So max for the Dolphins, you have them winning the division, if I'm not mistaken.
That's their ceiling in the regular season. Yeah.
Okay. Well,
and I still go Jets.
We agree there, at least, that the Dolphins could win the division. I do believe they'll be in play for a 1 seed. I do not necessarily believe they can or will win a championship, but the championship window's open. And so at this point, if you're them, they've committed financially to Tua. They're restructuring here with Tyreek Hill, as you said, in your words, doing right by him, making sure he's happy and not a malcontent or complaining. When you look at all the receivers getting paid right now, think of Brandon Ayuk in the Bay, right? He's upset because of that, and he hasn't touched it. So the Dolphins are taking care of Tyreek Hill. They've already taken care of Jalen Waddle. Offensively, forget it. We know with Mike McDaniels, they're going to be ridiculous. If the defense can just be average, I do not speak for George. I personally believe the Miami Dolphins can be the number 1 seed in the AFC, and then we'll see what happens. We all know when you get to the playoffs, who the hell knows, and we know the boogeyman resides in Kansas City. So you could face that issue. But I'm expecting big things from the Dolphins this year. I think Tyreek Hill stays healthy. I think their offense could be historic, and I do believe Tua is going to be an MVP candidate. Not saying Tua is the greatest quarterback I've ever seen, but in that system, he looks it. So I could see Tua having a really big season this year.
He could have a big season, but if an MVP goes to anyone, it should be Tyreek Hill.
Of course.
Because he drives that offense.
Of course.
He drives that offense.
Yes, he does.
And the one I'm just still thinking, Chiefs, Texans.
Sure.
Taking a leap. Bengals. Those are teams I put over. Baltimore, it's regular season. We're talking.
Yeah.
Browns.
They could be a 1 seed, I guess.
If Deshaun Watson can be serviceable,
right?
If he can be reliable with that defense,
yeah.
And we know what Kevin Stefanski could do as a head coach.
That's what Flacco was last year for them. He's just reliable,
right? Jets on paper. We'll see if Rodgers can make it the whole way through.
Sure.
But Jets, very, very talented team on both sides.
You buying Harbaugh and the Chargers? Would you throw them in there?
For an upgrade, 7 seed, 6 seed, I still think there's a lot. I mean, they have the foundation of an offensive line.
Okay.
but they're saying cap hell, and that defense never stays healthy. Like Derwin James is great, but he's just not consistently on the field.
You buying the Texans in that grouping?
I buy the Texans, second year in Bobby Slowick's system.
All right.
And what they did to upgrade, getting Danielle Hunter, signing him as a free agent. 30 years old, one of the best pass rushers in the league, and how talented that secondary is. And even adding to it in this draft, I think there's a lot of good buying there. Last one I'd end on is with Tyreek Hill. And again, the projection, voted number 1 in the NFL Top 100. That's voted on by players. That's voted on by your peers.
Right.
Tyreek Hill is well-respected around the league, well-liked. A lot of guys would probably listen to him. Hey, man, thinking about signing with the Dolphins. Should I do it? Yeah. You see what they did for me? They paid me that $65.5 million guaranteed when I got here. And then you know what I did? Balled out 2 years, and they gave me $106 in the same span of the same contract.
Facts.
$106 million guaranteed.
Yeah.
That's what changes a lot.
Took care of his teammates, too. Guys got paid.
Jalen Waddle this offseason.
Tua. Let me ask you this. Is there a better city as an athlete in America to be paid than Miami? That is a great question. Like if you're paid, you get your super max contract NBA. Cities. You're making Jason Tatum money, Jaylen Brown money. Is there a better city to get that contract in America in sports than Miami?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
You got lifestyle, you got weather.
Right? Is there a better city?
You know, one like catches my eyes like Tampa, but Miami's
better in Tampa.
If you're thinking taxes, Houston, Dallas, but Miami's better than both of those.
Miami's better than them. I think it's Miami.
I wouldn't even put Vegas in there.
No.
Because the best part of Vegas you don't want to be a part of. That
it's
strip
the
and everything.
Desert, bro.
We're
talking about Miami, Poppy.
You don't want to say Buffalo?
Nope. Didn't even make my list.
Freeze your ass off up there.
What's the worst? Buffalo?
I'd say Buffalo.
All right.
Maybe Jacksonville.
Jacksonville's bad?
I think Denver's underrated.
Denver's
great.
It ain't Miami, though.
Lifestyle.
It ain't Miami.
Seattle's underrated.
Too far. Too isolated.
I wouldn't want to be paid in Detroit.
I like Detroit. Detroit's got character.
Oh, worst has to be Green Bay.
Worse than Buffalo? Hey, bro. I don't think so. You get spotted cow beers.
No, they do not care.
What do you mean?
They do not care.
You get cheese curds.
At least Buffalo, you're right by Toronto, Montreal.
You get
Green
wings.
Bay, you got nothing. Bro.
You get buffalo wings.
You got nothing out there.
We need some sort of a poll or something that people can vote.
Bookmark this.
Worst city to be paid as an athlete in America. Best city to be paid as it sounds like Miami's number 1.
We had a similar discussion of like what city you'd want to be in the night you win your championship.
Oh,
Vegas has to be up there. See? Miami, same thing.
Yeah, probably Vegas, though. I've been in Miami for a championship.
Depends what team you are. Like Florida Panthers, no one cared. You know?
Fair.
Heat, Dolphins, people would make a big thing about
Dolphins, yeah, absolutely.
It's cool to look.
Yeah.
All right, talking about sixth city to be in when you win a championship. Paris, Team USA.
Oh, I see what you're doing there.
This is what I learned from co-hosting with you, man.
I like
Good segues. Team USA beat Puerto Rico 104-83.
Yeah.
Tatum, 10 points, 10 rebounds.
Man.
Anthony Edwards, game high, 26 points off the bench.
Man.
All the flack Steve Kerr's getting, maybe they're starting to hit their stride. This Puerto Rico team, literally everyone on that roster is playing in the Olympics for the first time.
Yeah.
You put any weight into this win? Get out the group stage. You have to put weight in anytime Team USA wins and looks halfway decent. I was one of those people. You said Steve Kerr catching flack. I was giving him hell. How's that sound? Forget flack. But I've since chilled out because he has at least shown me now that he's capable of change, that he is flexible. He's not rigid. He's not stuck in his ways. He's tinkering with lineups and changes and minutes for guys, and that's all I was screaming for during the exhibition stages, which he was not doing that. He was sending the same starting 5 out, particularly Joel Embiid, and it was ticking me off. Now he's showing that he can mix and match. So I let Steve Kerr off the hook. I disagree with you that it seems like Team USA is hitting their stride. The reason why I disagree is because they have yet to put it all together. I don't know what's going on with Steph Curry. I don't. Yeah.
But early, like exhibition games, he was money. Serbia, he was money. Since he has not been. I don't know what's going on, but he's in a shooting slump. He doesn't look right. I think Anthony Edwards in this last game coming alive was a good thing because it almost seemed like, and Anthony Edwards spoke about this after the game, it almost seemed like all of your greats were deferring to him because he had the hot hand. LeBron, KD, Steph. Hey, take it, young man, rumble, and he was. I think that's a good thing. So I think at some point throughout this thing, and hopefully it's in the right moment, maybe it's in the gold medal game, I don't know, but everything's going to come together. Anthony Edwards, Steph's going to get his touch back, KD, Bron, Kerr's going to get the lineups right, Embiid's actually going to play well. I just think at some point it's all going to come together, and we'll get a glimpse of, wow, that is reminiscent of the OG Dream Team. That's what it looks like. This team just hasn't been consistent with it, George. That's all.
Even Anthony Edwards on that steal and dunk he had, like that iconic moment for him.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree. They haven't been consistent yet. I don't know if they'll ever have to be.
Maybe.
We just saw Germany upset France. Right. So there will be the bigger teams, the stronger teams. France and Germany will give them trouble.
Yes.
Canada, if they run into them again, will give them trouble just because of their skill on the perimeter and have an SGA, a guy that can take shots. So that's where they come out. It still is. And we don't like their strategy on the floor. They could be messing around.
Yeah.
Hey, when it gets to this point of the game, we know who we're playing. We have to play in-game scenarios right now. We have to wait for this tournament play. Where do we want to go with this when we match up with Germany against France? Even like Serbia, if they run into them again, led by Jokic, or Greece, all this. So
Canada, whoever.
That's where I'm fine with it. It's good to see Tatum find some groove because we didn't know if he'd ever dig out of that hole.
I know.
And that's still where Steve Kerr is unforgivable and like how he started out this whole thing.
Yeah, no doubt. But at least he's playing them. And then, when he started him against South Sudan, Tatum looked rusty and out of sorts. And now he's starting to get his rhythm, which is to be expected, right? He didn't play during the exhibition, really. He was late to camp to begin with. So now we're seeing Tatum be Tatum. But I just think, again, I'm giving Kerr some credit here. He's finally figured out who to play and when. I respect that. I just believe this team will be more dangerous when they all get on the same page at some point, because it is yet to happen. It's ham, no burger. Peanut butter, no jelly. At some point, they're going to put it all together, and then it's on.
Ham, no burger?
Yeah.
You put ham, like sliced ham on your
hamburger? You got to have a hamburger. You understand?
Oh. I was picturing ham, like deli meat
ham, no burger.
Dude, I'm from Jersey, everything. I hear ham, I'm thinking like
deli.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, what?